from the industry through the community, right into your home. It's the Green Room, and we're on. What's going on, everybody? It's Les from Cannabis Wiki. I am here with the North American cannabis flower with that beautiful smile, and she loves the way I write it down on the docket, Miss Jackie Childs. What up?
Hey, guys. Welcome to the Green Room.
Welcome to the Green Room, everybody. What's happening? How you feeling?
I stayed up all night watching TikTok videos. Actually, I was doing research. It fell into some TikTok, but I think that's a show. I think we got a show there. We watch TikTok videos and we give our opinion.
I would let you give your opinion.
Because again, you're Switzerland. You got no opinions on anything. Yeah, you
Hey. You know how it goes already.
All right.
I say, you know how it goes already.
Yes.
So, here at Cannabis Wiki, we always want to thank everybody out there doing their part, flattening the curve. Keep it up, wash your hands, and look out for others always. Right? So, jackpot. Today, we have a special guest.
Wait, is looking out for others and minding your own business, that's the same thing, or that's different? Those are different things. Minding your own business and looking out for others.
That's two different things.
Because I don't mind my own business.
Holy cow. I'm having a bit of a problem with the business and that banana. I don't know where that came from.
I have the worst stomach ache ever, and sometimes it just helps.
All right. Well, we know that you're at home. You're working from home because Crohn's is flaring up once again. Something that you have to deal with, but
I'm in a Crohn's group, and apparently, sometimes it's seasonal or hormonal or whatever, but because of the sort of the weight of the world, our current climate, that it's massive, that spikes of Crohn's are it's a big deal. Because I was trying to figure out what I ate or what I did, but it is what I thought it was. It's anxiety and sort of the pressures in the world. So I'm just pooping a lot. So I'm going to keep at home instead of in the studio.
Oh, shit. Well, we got a special guest today, and they're waiting to get on this show. Today, we have Anne-Marie from Canna Right. This lady is full of pop and spice, so we're glad that she took the time to hang out with us today inside the Green Room. Anne-Marie, what's popping?
Oh, wow. I'm so happy to be with you guys here. You guys have me giggling here in the background. Jackie keeping it real as always, which I absolutely love about her. Super happy to be here. I don't smoke inside my house, but before I came on today, I had some pink candy, so I'm nice and chill and feeling good. Some good Vancouver Island craft grown cannabis. So
nice,
feeling great.
Good. We like everybody to be comfortable.
Can you tell us about Canna Right?
Absolutely. Okay. So I guess the short story, or maybe the medium-sized story, is that I am a trained academic, I guess you would call me. I spent most of my life from the time I was 4 years old up until I was about early 30s in the academic environment. But most of my focus in the academic environment was making sure that knowledge that is created in the ivory tower, as we call it, is not kept in the ivory tower. So we know that there's a lot of research going on, and quite often that research is held behind expensive subscriptions, or you have to pay to get the research. So I really saw it as my duty as a longtime cannabis smoker and advocate to marry my skills as an academic researcher and writer to the cannabis industry. So through that, Canna Right was born in 2016, and I've served probably over 300 clients now in the cannabis space internationally, with content and cannabis education, anywhere from blogs to special reports to infographics. But somehow I've made a living out of it, and it's the best career I've had so far.
Nice.
So
what it is, it's like, hey, not everybody can find the way to navigate to make monetary funds through the cannabis world.
And that's right. And then I guess, like, you're so right, Lester. And through that, it's been I guess my further duty as a woman in cannabis, to show people that you can indeed, if you have a passion and talent and the drive to do it, you can indeed monetize your passion on cannabis. So the other kind of half of CannaWrite is making sure that I can spread that message. And I've coached a number of fellow writers to help them see that they're worth something, that their time is money and their experience is money. So they deserve to get paid for that. So.
Now, would this be because of your boldness or lucky breaks, or all the stars have lined up for you?
Oh, Lester, that's an interesting question, or that's an interesting point. A little bit of both. I'm a bold woman. There's no doubt about it. You know, in the corporate world, the corporate academic world, I found a lot of necessary experiences and situations where I had to use my voice. So through those experiences and being a writer, I've been emboldened through my words. So I would say confidence and knowing that I do have something that I can offer to the cannabis industry. Maybe a stroke of luck. Timing was a lot of the big factor in it. I started CannaWrite when California was legalizing. So by the time Canada was legalizing, I had all that knowledge. So it was kind of a little bit of both. And of course, nothing happens without hard work. So I still do put, 14 hours a day or whatever into my business. But it doesn't feel like work, to be honest.
How has COVID and our current racial climate, how has that changed your focus, changed your writing, and changed your original, when you first came to celebrate the plant and share education and knowledge around cannabis, it's sort of shifted. To me, it's a lot more meaningful place and space right now. There's more authenticity, there's more rawness and realness. And if you like me, you like me. And if you don't, I don't give a fuck. As long as you watch the green room, you can see it the whole time. Keep watching the green room to see what stupid shit I say. So how has COVID changed and the racial climate changed your whole mission, your message?
Yeah. So of course, like anybody they will say that this has been the most challenging and interesting times to be alive. We're literally going through the biggest human rights movement of our times. It's unfortunate that we're at this place in 2020 where we have to keep standing on those soapboxes and asking for equity and equality and end of police brutality. I'll be the first one to admit my bank account has suffered a lot because I've been focusing 100% of my effort on supporting my Black brothers and sisters within the cannabis industry. And through two initiatives that have mostly taken my focus, one being called Give Us Our Harvest, and it's about building Black wealth in cannabis. So this is an initiative started by my dear friend Dawn Quinique. She lives in Colorado. And Give Us Our Harvest is all about recognizing that, first off, cannabis only has 5% Black owners or majority owners in the industry. And what the heck is that? Like 2020, and we are excluding such a large, valuable population of our cannabis community. And then second of all, it's recognizing, and it's in a very bold message, that cannabis is the new cash crop of the 21st century. And just like cotton, just like any other cash crop that has been, white people essentially have been profiting off the backs and hard work of Black people. Cannabis is the new cash crop, and imprisonment is the new slavery. And she's spreading that very bold message down south. And, I'm trying to help her spread it up here in Canada as well.
So how is that being accepted there? How is that being accepted?
Good question. So for the most part, we've gotten a lot of support. Of course, Dawn Quinique herself, she's a very outspoken, fearless Black woman. So she'll stand outside of dispensaries with her megaphone and yell in the people's faces as they go and make their purchases. So in that aspect, maybe the approach is a little bit abrasive for some, but as far as I'm concerned, her approach is necessary. However, it's been greatly supported. We're partnering right now with the National Cannabis Industry Association Diversity and Inclusion Office, and they've helped us with building a board and really making it an official foundation. So the intention with that is to build capital so that we can provide, completely free business loans to emerging Black cannabis entrepreneurs. So.
You said only 5%. That's in the legal market, right? Like that's in the.
I would say that's probably the legal market. However, yeah, I would say that's a legal market because, of course, we know that the legal market has a ton of barriers to inclusion, race, money, class. We could go on for days about why some people aren't getting licenses. But you're correct. I've even seen it as low as 4.3%. So we've got work to do.
Well, in Canada as well, not just in the States. Not us. We're lovely Canadians. We brush a lot off to, well, we're in Canada. No, it's in Canada too.
We can't do that any longer. No. The same issues exist up here that do in the States. Maybe not as amplified. However, we can't deny that what's happening down there is also happening here. So we're no better.
Your writing and your thoughts and your movements, and when you share your soul online, has you've got some notice this year, and you were nominated for a Women of Extinction Award. Is that correct?
Yeah. So it's the Universal Women's Network Women of Inspiration Awards.
Right.
So I'm pretty excited about that. What's kind of exciting about it is that I've always been a little bit more comfortable behind the scenes. I've always been the voice of other people. But now I'm stepping into the point where it's like, okay, I do have a voice and I do have a platform. So I've valued that platform and tried to use it to my very best. Of course I screw up sometimes. Of course I might say the wrong thing or piss people off, but you can't create change unless you're ruffling feathers. So
for sure. And
so I'm
what do you think about what do you think about cancel culture? How online when you're sharing your stories and you're posting in that cancel culture, what do you think about that? Because I'll say I think we don't get to share our opinion anymore because then all of a sudden you're canceled, right? You don't get an opportunity to learn if we're canceled.
You're so right. And, I know a little bit more about cancel culture because of because I'm like a really big nerd from like the, what do you call it? Like beauty culture. So like that culture is all about cancel culture. If like Jeffree Star says something wrong, he's done. So like I've been able to see that. Oh, I'm sure you do, so that's where I get all the drama and like, so like I do kind of understand it in that context. However, we're becoming extremely polarized at this point, and a lot of people are doing it to protect themselves, protect their own affiliations. A lot of people are just, we have lost that compassionate, like, let's talk, let's work things out, let's give you the opportunity. Something about cancel culture that the makeup industry said, and I hate that I'm talking about the makeup industry, but is that when somebody is canceled and then they go and do an apology video, usually they fuck up their apology video. So it just like becomes like so I think we have to work on what cancel culture is and maybe redefine it and give ourselves a little bit of more effective outlets to air our concerns about people. And then
what
educate, right?
Go ahead, Jack.
What are you hopeful about in the industry and the current climate? What are you like? I know we're all so but what positives and what are you hopeful about? And when I first started following you, there was a lot more excitement and joy. There was a lot of hope in your stories, and now it's pretty heavy, and there's a lot of hurt, and there's a lot of pain, and there's a lot of anxiety, and it's fucking heavy.
Yeah, we've got COVID-19
going on.
Yeah, now COVID-19.
Yeah, and we're really seeing people's true colors these days. As far as my hopes for the future is that I really do want to see our cannabis industry, I hate to say professionalize itself because I feel like that's, sticking us into a box, but have a forum where we can actually conflict, where we understand a little bit more as professionals how to go through a critical conversation rather than, yeah, you're canceled. We need to open up the, people who use cannabis, I'm finding out, are so diverse. We've got Trump supporters, we've got racists, we've got, the people that I usually would not hang out with. And then we've got people like me and you and like just the happy, like la 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 la.
Right.
So I think we have to understand that the plant wants something for us. The plant wants us to come together and not be divided. So, however that looks, whether it's the legal market making itself more equitable to, the BIPOC community, removing financial barriers, giving ourselves those outlets to mediate conflict rather than heat it up and blow it up like bombs like we tend to. And then just, I want the legacy to still be a strong voice. I'm never, while I do make my money for the most part in the legal market, I'll never turn my back on the legacy. Some of the most amazing, talented people are in the industry, and they're being barred from actually participating from the legal industry. Right. So we need to remove those barriers. That is going to allow people to have their cannabis crimes eradicated and then give them equal and fair participation in the legal market. Legalization is not going away, so we just should make the best of it.
So with the path that you're taking, right? Hold on, Jack. With the path that you're taking, how would be... What do you think would be the best way to be able to say to somebody, I respect you, but I don't agree with you?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really hard one. I think, like I said, we are so polarized. There's a lot of people who are close friends of mine, whether they're in this industry or personal, who I respect as people. Like, they are good people, good souls. Sometimes people just don't know what they don't know. I call that unconscious incompetence. So like some people they're just not educated, and it's not their fault. So I think I think this is a really important time because people are really unraveling their own education and their biases and their perspectives and stuff like that. And we're able to kind of say, like, I'm seeing a lot of American friends, for instance, say, I was taught such and such about history, and I didn't understand that this was such a problem or there's something even going on. So I think everybody's kind of willing to unlearn, to relearn. And I think it's going to be a process that we all have to commit to. It's not going to be easy, but first, I think we need to do, like, as Jackie said, like, cancel culture is real. And I think we need to start calling cancel culture out and pointing out the problems that can happen when you do actually silence somebody. And, we're kind of at the point where we're past agreeing to disagree. I've heard a lot of people say that they can't just agree to disagree, but I think no soul or no brain is unsalvageable. And I think everybody has inherent goodness in them. It's just they don't necessarily know what they don't know. So it's up to us as a community to kind of go underneath them and raise them up instead of, bash them. And like, I'm not perfect. I've got many an argument, but I regret a lot of them.
When you said like that you respectfully disagree, is that how you started it off, Lester? What did you say? Like, I hear you, but I disagree, or I respectfully, whatever it was you said. I thought it was polite and like a great start for a dialogue, not a block and delete. I hate that fucker. Like that.
Yeah. Well, I believe that we need to let people know that, hey, listen, I may not like you, but I do have the patience to respect you and listen to what you have to say.
Right. Like, we're allowed to not all agree. We're allowed to.
100%. Yeah. And I know, especially since I do have a lot of friends down south, and I feel very, very strongly about things like gun violence and police funding and all that stuff. But like, a lot of people have reached out to me and said, hey, this is why it is the way it is. And like, and they've changed my perspectives a lot. And like, it's good. It's good for me to learn, and it's good for them to learn. And we won't always agree on things, but it doesn't mean we're bad people. So,
right. Learning is everything.
Products of our environment. Yeah.
I've learned a lot from Lester. He tells me to sit down and shut up so often. No, just kidding. He doesn't. He doesn't. He likes to talk. I actually had come, I was like, oh, we almost canceled Lester. Woo! We didn't. It's me. No. We're canceling.
No.
In the beginning of COVID and the beginning of the Black Lives Matter movement and everything, we had a lot of discussions, and I'm like, I'm just so hopeful for the future generations, and they'll be able to fix all this. And Lester's like, what? We can't really leave it all up to them. What if they were coming to like install your furnace or install your whatever? He's like, you just give him a little bit of thing and say, oh, that 23-year-old can go at it, and I'll just leave him to it. I'm sure he'll get it perfect. No, and that didn't make sense. So I was like, shit, you're right. We can't just leave it all up to future generations. We have to relearn. We have to rethink. We have to communicate on a different level, anyhow, we've had a ton of really great discussions, Lester and I, about COVID and my extreme fear of the whole whatever, and wear a mask, don't wear a mask, and all that shit. And then the Black Lives Matter stuff, like it's 2020. I understand why my friends that are business professionals that are persons of color are like, what the fuck? It's 2020. I got shit to do. Like, it's really, we're still here. Ugh.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, you think, we look back at like Martin Luther King and 1968, and like, oh, that was so long ago, and we've come so far. But like, poor Martin Luther King would be rolling in his grave and saying like, did my words not have impact? Like, come on. It's awful. It's awful.
It's been lost a little bit, but I feel we as people, we need to feel that there is something to be responsible for, so that when we go to complete an action, that there is somebody watching what we do, and to be conscious of what we do, rather than to feel like there is no repercussion or no recourse for an action that I may take. Whereas people that follow religion, and I'm not going to specify any religion, but people that specify religion will believe in that higher power is watching what they do. So when they are alone and going to do, whether it's a bad action or a good action, that they feel that that power above is watching them to do good.
Mm-hmm. Are you religious, Lester?
I love people. How's that for you?
Question, are you religious? Do you put a fancy dress on and go to church on Sunday?
I would love to put on that fancy outfit and go to church. I don't have time, but I do believe in a higher power for sure. I definitely do.
It's actually cannabis that has made me cannabis that I was Roman Catholic, but it's been cannabis that has given me a new I'm never gonna say God, like the biblical, like Old Testament God, but it's brought me back to God and the concept that this is just like the cannabis plant and the human body are just too perfectly aligned to each other, that's no mistake. Some divine mastermind put that in, and he's just waiting for us, or she is just waiting for us to crack the code to finally allow it to be available to all the people. So right. Cannabis,
which would be the best platform for us all to talk.
Yeah.
For which?
Right. I said it would be the best platform for us all to talk, whether it's medicinal or whether it's recreational. It covers everybody.
Absolutely, and it's an inherently loving plant to be. It's a peaceful plant. It doesn't create division as it has through legislation. So yeah, I just she wants so much for us, and we're just not giving it to her yet. So humans are.
Holy. That was the biggest boob shot ever. What the hell, Jackie? You just turned up the.
Yep, it's no mistake that she's the mother, the woman, female plant produces all the good stuff. So,
what's next
Anne-Marie,
for
what's new and popping?
Yeah,
what's coming up? What's coming up for you?
Oh dear. Okay, so I've been working on Give Us Our Harvest. I'm also working on another platform called Black Voices in Cannabis. Now I say this all because as a white girl ally, I'm so white. I'm almost translucent. I grew up in a very white town. However, I grew up and I was raised to love all people. From the day I was born, I put my support and my love behind people. So I'm working on these platforms, Give Us Our Harvest, Black Voices in Cannabis, but I'm just doing it behind the scenes. So it's actually my Black sisters who are carrying it. However, Black Voices of Cannabis, we're actually rated about, it's launching in August, but we're collecting Black people, also Indigenous people of color, and their experiences of cannabis kind of in a regional way. So what our plan is to have a map where people can submit their stories from regions, Canada, US, different states, and then you can access different stories about how cannabis has affected or interacted with their lives by regionality, recognizing that regionality has a very big factor in how Black people in cannabis interact. But we're not only telling the bad stories. We don't want to just hear the stories of, disproportionate, criminalization of Black people. Of course, that's a big highlight of it. We also want to hear the cultural stories. We want to hear how, people's ancestors in Jamaica were using cannabis spiritually. We want to hear those stories so we can remind the cannabis industry that this is really cannabis culture. We want to hear the stories of, Black ancestors who were slaves. What were they doing in their downtime with the cannabis? How was that helping them heal as essentially owned people? So those are the stories we're really pushing for. And then we'll do, of course, a social media campaign to ensure that we're pushing out the stories on the regular global thing. So it's a big endeavor. But I've got this team for it. And Canna Write is, it's my livelihood. It's how I pay my rent, buy my weed. However, it's not as important right now. Of course, I'm keeping the base level in my bank account, but I'm not. Needless to say, I won't be buying any expensive shoes this month. So. Yeah.
You say no red bottoms this month.
Exactly. Yeah,
Oh God, Lester really likes shoes, Anne-Marie. He's a
I'm
shoe
a
guy.
Fluvog girl. Do you like Fluvogs, Lester?
Hey,
what's that?
John? Yeah, I'm a Fluvog girl. So that's where all my expensive fancy shoes. But
so
girls gotta love her shoes.
Let's get
girl in her shoes.
Let's get a plug on all the handles where people can find you and the people that you're supporting. So some of your sisters there in the States, plug some of their social media so people can log on and find out what's going on and the message that they're trying to spread, and yourself.
Please, yes, that's great. So I'll start with my sisters. So my girl Dawn Quinique, who's the founder and CEO of Give Us Our Harvest. She's just Dawn Quinique. DonQueenick is her handle. Mm-hmm. The initiative is at Give Us Our Harvest on Instagram and the same handle on Facebook. We're also at www.giveUsOurHarvest.com. Black Voices of Cannabis is www.blackvoicesofcannabis.com. That's being led by who is also on Instagram and Facebook, my girl Kadisha. She's an incredibly talented woman. And then for myself, Canna Write, you can find me on all platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Actually, I don't really use Twitter, but Facebook and Instagram at Canna Write, CANNAWRITE. And then my website is cannawrite.net.
Boom.
Cool.
You heard it.
I heard it. You know how to get in. So do you ghostwrite for people? Like, do you do the writing and You ghostwrite?
Okay, you'll probably see on the internet. It's been created by Canna. We just don't talk about it because I sell the content and then it's theirs to name or whoever. So yeah, I write for doctors, I write for clinicians, I write for brand identities and CEOs and stuff like that, and more than happy to ensure that they're using their platforms with cohesive content and good comprehensive content. So
all right, so you people, you hear that out there.
Thanks for sharing some time with us, spending some time, and
oh my goodness, it's a pleasure. Felt like 5 minutes. Thank you so much. And you guys you're doing a great show. You've had some amazing guests, and you're continuing to really bring on the best people. So I really appreciate being on this platform. It means a lot.
Thank you.
Hey,
thank
we appreciate you sharing.
Going. Yes, thanks, Lester, for sharing some time with me.
Thank you. You guys are a hoot together. Dynamic duo for sure.
All right,
guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Jack.
Woo. Yeah.
You always are getting some good, interesting guests. Always.
Like not all of the people we should be celebrating in the industry have 10,000 followers or 20,000 or a million followers or whatever. There's a lot of people doing really cool things. Like she's gathering up awards. She's speaking on behalf of a lot of people. She's got quite a following, an engaged following online. She says a lot of things that I don't always agree with. But I adore her. I mean, we're not all going to fucking agree, but we're all going to agree to watch The Green Room. Even if it is to eye roll or to correct my English language, or if it's to say I need a better bra or that chick needs to sit down, just watch it. Send us your notes. We can download the Wiki app where you can see me all day long.
Right, Wellness Wiki. No, it was good kicking it. I love chopping it up out here. I'm glad that you took the time to still come to work through Crohn's. You give people with Crohn's a little more hope, a little more energy. I definitely want to say to all my people suffering from mental health issues, whether it's anxiety, depression, insecurity, we're here for you guys too. You know what I mean? So you could always log into the Green Room, catch Jackie always giving some truth and strength and the good laugh. You know me.
My truth might not be their truth or your truth, but I'm here for it. I want to hear your truth.
Hey, like I said, this is a place where you're going to get respect. Hey, you're going to get respect, but we may not like you, but we'll respect to listen to what you got to say.
You know what we should probably do a show where people can write in and ask to be on the show because they can't stand Jackie.
Well, hey, if that's an issue, hey, all right, well, hit me in my DMs on my Instagram, and then we'll see what we can do about that.
You heard that, everybody. Can't stand Jackie. Cancel culture. Slide into Lester's DMs, and we'll get you on the show.
Oh, man. Listen, any of you guys slide into my DMs, you're going to get slid right the hell out, so don't even bother with the hate. You know what I mean? No hate.
Lester.
No hate.
I got...
hey, listen.
No.
Right. You know where cannabis talk is always fresh and a little bit
sticky.
Oh, thank you.
I'm learning to do that Africana dance 6 months later.
Okay. Yo.
See you later.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Cannabis Wiki. We'll see you later. This is the Green Room. Peace. We out.